The Fed is about to hike again. Get out of stocks before it's too late. That claim is everywhere this week. Fed officials are openly floating rate hikes, not cuts, if inflation doesn't cool. Bond traders are repricing. And the oldest reflex in investing is kicking in: rates up, stocks down, sell now. Today, that reflex is on trial. I'm Harry, 30 years investing through Silicon Valley's booms and busts, and I've sold into rate fear before. Let's look at what hiking cycles actually did. Be fair to the fear. Rate hikes raise borrowing costs, squeeze valuations, and slow the economy on purpose. That's not a theory. That's the Fed's own job description. And in 2022, the fastest hiking cycle in 40 years, stocks fell hard. A year after the first hike, the market was down almost 10%. The prosecution has a real exhibit. But one cycle isn't a pattern. So take every Federal Reserve hiking cycle of the modern era, 5 of them since 1994, and ask the only question that matters: what did stocks actually do while the Fed was hiking? 1994, the bond massacre. Rates nearly doubled. Stocks up 2%. 1999, up 7% during the hikes. 2004 to 2006, 17 hikes in a row, up 10.5%. 2015 to 2018, up 25%, while the Fed hiked 9 times. Even 2022, during the actual hiking window, stocks were up about 3% by the time the hikes ended. 5 hiking cycles. Stocks rose during every single one. Read that again. The market went up while the Fed was raising rates 5 out of 5 times. So why did 2022 hurt so much? Because the damage isn't the hiking, it's the speed and where you start. 2022 took rates from 0 to 5% in 16 months, the fastest in 4 decades, into markets priced for zero forever. A year after that first hike, stocks were still down 9.6%. The other 4 cycles? A year after the first hike, stocks were up every time. The pattern: gradual hikes into a strong economy, markets climb, violent hikes into expensive markets, pain first, recovery later. And here's the piece the headlines skip. Why does the Fed hike? Because the economy is running hot. Hiring, spending, profits. Hikes are a symptom of strength. Stocks price that strength. The Fed isn't attacking the market. It's leaning against an economy that's winning. That's why the Fed is hiking has historically been a terrible sell signal. You'd be selling strength. The verdict on the Fed might hike: sell everything. Not proven. 5 modern hiking cycles. Stocks rose through all 5. What deserves your attention isn't whether the Fed hikes, it's how fast, from what starting point, and whether credit is cracking underneath. A quarter-point lean against a hot economy is not 2022. The reflex isn't wisdom, it's just old. Not advice to buy or sell anything. It's a verdict on one claim from the record. The next Fed headline will scream, "The data doesn't. I'm cash on trial."